I enjoy the open worldness of this game. You see that peak of mountain over there? You climb it. I thought it would be cute with my little snowman, but I'm not a lefty. It's 600 hours. Hello, lovely bookworms. Today is day... I'm not sure. It will show you which day it is, but this is another Christmas countdown video, and I am so excited because today we are talking about cozy games. This is something completely different from what I usually do. I actually play a lot. Like, I play a lot on my Switch. I, in general, play a lot of games, board games with my family as well, but I have definitely picked up gaming, not hardcore gaming, but gaming on my Switch quite a bit, and I am, in general, just very excited about games. I, by the way, have a cup of tea. I thought it would be cute with my little snowman, but I'm not a lefty, so, but we're gonna attempt it. Let me take a sip. Is it just me, or is it incredibly impossible to have a cup of tea and make a video at the same time? It's just impossible. I feel like I cut out me drinking anyway, which I'm gonna do again because I need a sip. But enough rambling. I thought we could talk a little bit about cozy games, cozy Switch games. I have one other game which I will show you in a little bit, and then we'll get to my Switch. And yeah, let's just get on with the video and get on with the games I'd like to talk about. So the first game that I want to talk about is The Sims, and especially The Sims 4. I used to play The Sims 2 so often. I feel like I haven't played The Sims 3 that much. I've played it a little bit, I think, at others, but I don't own it myself. But I do play The Sims 4 quite a bit, not lately, but it is definitely a game that I sort of have phases where on the one hand I really, really want to play it, and on the other I just don't play it for a very long time. I am that type of person that will take hours and hours to create a house and a family and then just don't play and just move on and make another family. I'm a lot more into making backstory, building houses, that kinds of things. I'm not saying that I'm good at it, but I am definitely enjoying the building and create a sim over playing, if that makes sense. Though I feel like there's a lot of things. I've yet to try out the new farm expansion pack. What is it? Is it like farm living or something along those lines, where you can actually literally farm and have like crops and have animals, like a lot more animals. I think it's cottage life, but The Sims is definitely something that I really, really enjoy. So let's get to my Switch. I've already showed you a little bit. I actually have two different, like a purple, I think you can see a purple Joy-Con and a red one, and I bought this case. This is a Zelda protective case, so this is from Breath of the Wild, actually. So this is the Ganon taking over the Hyrule Castle, and then I have on this side Link with his Master Sword and Zelda with her power, I suppose. I will hold it like this because this is very reflective. Reflective. But let's just get into the first cozy, at least for me, it's a cozy game. I do want to say that what might be a cozy game for me might not be a cozy game for you, but that's okay. Let's just dive into the elephant in the room, because it's on my Switch. And that is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is one of those games that I've pumped in so many hours into that I have realized through trial and error what works for me. I enjoy the open worldness of this game. I will tell you a little bit, if you don't know Breath of the Wild, what it is about. You might not be as keen to pick it up because you're more of a casual gamer. I feel like I'm more of a casual gamer in general anyway. But Breath of the Wild follows Link. Link is awakened in the Shrine of Awakening 100 years after Calamity Ganon has taken over Hyrule. Hyrule is the land that we're in, and he keeps hearing the voice of Princess Zelda, who is trapped in the castle with Calamity Ganon and holding him off until Link can come and defeat Ganon, or until she's no longer strong enough to hold on. And this world, which is very unlike Zelda, is open world. You can do whatever you want with it, and that is something I enjoy. You see that peak of mountain over there, you climb it. You see that building over there, you climb it. You can climb and you can swim. You can go wherever you want to go as long as it's on the map. I wouldn't call that advisable because especially in the beginning, you die quite a bit. And you start off on the Great Plateau, and it gives you all of the tools you need to continue on in the story. Something I really love about this is once you have completed the Great Plateau, you can go wherever. You can also just immediately go straight to Ganon and try and defeat him, especially as a beginning player, not a good plan. I mean, I still won't be able to do it, but a lot of people do. You can also go through to the main quests and explore along the way. I feel like that's the way I did it. I went on the main quest and then I kept being backtracked by everything happening around me, and I love the exploring in Breath of the Wild. Something that I also feel like is really great about this game is I also just like to sit for an hour or two, mind numbing, just doing nothing but explore the map. The map is huge and you have more than enough to do on there. So yeah, the first one for me at least is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 2, which is the other elephant in the room, I think, is none other than Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a game wherein you don't really have a objective. Sorry, you don't really have a objective. The main idea behind Animal Crossing is you come on, at least this Animal Crossing, it's Animal Crossing New Horizons, is you go to an island, you have a tent there, and then you work from there. You can fish, you can catch bugs, you can plant flowers, and you can breed flowers. And now with the new update, you can also harvest and farm crops. And there's so much to do that I can't possibly tell you what you can do. There's a lot to do. You can also go villager hunting, so you can find villagers on these mystery island tours that you can take, and you can invite them to your island. There is now also the DLC where you can decorate homes and you can decorate facilities such as restaurants and a school, which is a paid DLC, I do have to say that. But Animal Crossing in general, if you have never played it, you don't need the DLC. You'll have more than enough to do already. I think I've literally put in 600 hours. I mean, I can check if we are curious about this. I don't know, can I show you like this? 600 hours! It's 600 hours. Yes, I've pumped in 600 hours into Animal Crossing, and I feel like it's only fair that I put this on this list. Let's move on to some other games that I find incredibly cozy. Some of them you might know of, some of them maybe not. I feel like I have a very weird playing taste because on the one hand I like these action-packed kind of games, but I also really like the casual cozy where you're not dying kind of games. So let's move on with the next one, and that is Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is more in the same vein of Animal Crossing, but in Stardew Valley you actually get a farm from your grandfather who's passed away. It's your inheritance, and you move there and then you are able to farm, basically. You own a farm and everything that has to do with that. On top of all of that, you can also build relationships, walk around, and you can basically do whatever you want. There are so many options, and there's not one main evil that you have to defeat, but it's just such a cute and comfortable game to play, and you can easily pump in quite a few hours. I also really like the way it's animated because of the fact that it's just so, like, it is very dialed down, but it works perfectly for this farming simulator game. So next up, speaking of farming games, I want to talk about my time at Portia. This is sort of a similar vein. You actually get into a world where you get a farm, and there are two sort of routes to take. You can either go for the I want technology kind of route, or you can go with the old-fashioned type of farming, or you can do a little bit of both. I haven't made that much progress in this one just yet, but it's such a casual game as well. Also, I feel like you don't have to put in the big bucks to get a good game. I think I bought it around 15 euros. Same goes for Stardew Valley. That one was 20 euros. I feel like it's nice to sort of find these games that are just a lot of fun but not as intense. But getting back to my time at Portia, you basically farm as well. And you can, with these types of games, it's really nice to have a non-linear type of storytelling. You can build characters, you can build relationships, and get your characters where you want them to be, but that doesn't have to happen at the same pace. You can also just explore, be chill about things, and work towards your next upgrade, if that makes sense. And I really like those types of games. Next up is a game that is completely different, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but that is Abzu. This is a game in which you go diving and you can explore these beautiful, beautiful underwater just scenarios. It really reminded me of a Wii game that I used to play a lot called Endless Ocean. That one does have a more linear storyline, which I did prefer because of the mystiqueness of that, but considering probably not a lot of us still have a Wii, I wanted to find something that gives me a similar vibe, and Abzu definitely does that. This is one type of those games where I would just sit down and relax and play this and enjoy everything that's happening on my screen. It depends on the games, but I prefer to play this game on the big screen, whereas something like Animal Crossing or Zelda's like a half-half situation for me, I prefer to play handheld, and that is definitely something that I prefer about the Switch, because you can just sit down and relax, and you can either play it on a screen or you can play it handheld, which is great. So that is Abzu. So 2 games that I want to sort of put together because they are sort of those hack and slash kind of games that don't have the biggest objective. I want to sort of put together Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and Fire Emblem Warriors. Both of these are very strategic games in which you go into a battlefield and you have to position everyone on the right spots and then hack and slash your way through. These are those types of games that I sit down and just, if I am in a foul mood, which I mean we all are at some point, I just sit down and hack and slash at things that aren't real, which is definitely great if you're not feeling great. Also, if you're feeling down, just go into Age of Calamity and just hack and slash a lot of bokoblins, which is the brunt of your, enemies. And those are, like, they don't have a huge, like, there's a bit of backstory, but it's definitely more focused on the battles than it is on the backstory. And so I really, really enjoy both of those for what they are. So next up is a game that is very humorous. It's an open world, much like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that is Immortals Fenyx Rising. In this one, you play a character called Fenyx, and Fenyx has to rid the world of Typhon. And Typhon is the big evil. I think he's a titan, and this is all about Greek mythology. So the entire story is narrated by Prometheus and Zeus actually finds out or goes to look for Prometheus to ask him, to basically ask his help when defeating Typhon, because a lot of the other gods have been taken over or have been defeated by Typhon. And so Prometheus says, no, we are going to look to a mortal, and she, or he, depending on what you want to play as, is going to help you. And Zeus is not having it, and this entire story is so humorous, and you actually encounter a lot of the gods. You have to help and free them as well, which is great. I will not say too much, but if you want a little bit of what this story is about, I do have a reading vlog in which I had Cherise play this, which was hilarious. I have also, I think, included a bit of footage in some of my own vlogs, and I love this because it's something that you can just walk around and explore, and it is also something that can be quite hardcore, which is really, really nice. You can play it whichever way you want, and it's also very humorous. Something that's also really great is that it has a DLC for Chinese mythology, which is a completely different story, which is really nice, and there's enough DLC to last you for quite a couple of hours, and I feel like it is very cheap as well. I think I bought it for around 25 $5, which is really nice. So definitely one where I can just sit down and relax. Speaking of games that are easy to complete, this is a game that is also relatively cheap and is definitely focused on storytelling, and that is To the Moon. This is about two characters that are in the business of giving people on their deathbed their final wish. They can basically go into your brain and give you, sort of change a bit of your narrative so that you get the thing you wish for most. And so they actually arrive at an old man's house who wishes to go to the moon. And so this entire game is about going back into his memories and altering things so that he's able to go to the moon. And this story of this old man is absolutely heartbreaking. Like, you're starting at his latest memories, and then you sort of travel back to his youth. And I think this is such an interesting game, and I would love if they were to do one of these again, where maybe the same two characters will visit another person who is on their deathbed, and you can get another story. But the storytelling and just the way in which this world is created was very unique and heartbreaking. And it's also, I think it is a couple of hours long, so it's not that much. Like, you were not going to pump in 600 hours into this one. But it is definitely one that I would really sit down for this and play it in one go. And it's such a unique game. So those were all of the games I wanted to mention. Quite a few, I think. I hope that this will help you in some type of way, or at least have given you a little bit of, enjoyment for the last, I don't know how long this video is. Or, didn't mind me rambling on about games instead of books. But yeah, this is everything for today's video. I thought I would do something completely different for once. I hope you have enjoyed it, and maybe I can do this another time if you want to, because I do have quite a few games that I would like to talk about. In any case, thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and press that little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!